Running into this Monday evening. It is 7 p.m. It is a Monday, so you already know what time it is. It's time for the Academy Sports Show. We appreciate you, as always, being with us on this day to talk about your favorite sports, man. We in here. We the Sports Show's favorite sports show. I got my notification just now, both from Academy Sports Show on YouTube and Joe's Facebook. So if you're not friends with this man, listen, don't flood his inboxes because he probably won't accept you. But the best way to do it is to go to YouTube, man. No, I don't know. You just can't have a bunch of random people following you on Facebook. But we want you to go to YouTube, man. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, man, just say hello. Let us know you're in here. Let us know you got that notification. Notification gang in the building. Gang. Put your notifications, alert emojis in the chat. Let us know you're in here. This is the Academy Sports Show. If you're watching this afterwards, man, make sure you follow us on YouTube. It's the Academy Sports Show. That's our logo right there. Find it, follow it, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. Looks like produced by Petey got his. What it do, my guy? Thank you for following us, man. Thank you for being a part of the chat today. Missed you a couple weeks, man, but we in here. But once again, make sure you follow. And if you don't follow us on Instagram, man, you're missing a good time. If you missed last week, last week was a lot of fun. We talked a lot of Urban Meyer. We talked about his escapades. And looky here, there's another coach that's in hot water this week. Listen, we can't write this stuff. We know it's going to be material every single week. And to break down that material is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Joe Williams.
Man, what up, though, to everybody in the building, man? Welcome to the show, everybody. You heard the man. You heard what it's all about. It's your sports show's favorite sports show. It's the Academy Sports Show live tonight. Hey, man, we got a great show for y'all tonight, man. Listen, like you said, material. Drake pointed it out. This is our favorite time of year. This is our favorite time of year because there's always something to talk about. And so we got a nice packed show for you tonight, man. Of course, we're going to open up the show with our famous and most lovable game by the fans, man. It is What the Meme. We got a couple of memes to go over with you tonight, man. Get your thoughts. Share your thoughts. We give our opinions. You know how the game is played. So make sure you get ready to prepare yourself for that, man. You know how we love the participation in the building. Also, it's week 5 in the NFL. All right, wraps up tonight with Colts and Ravens. Colts and Ravens. The Colts are already a sinking ship, trying to throw water overboard, trying to keep the ship afloat, but they are sinking fast. And the Ravens are trying to actually take hold of first place in the AFC North, which is turning out to be a very tough division in football. But Dre and I give you our Power Fives this week, top fives coming out of week 5, entering into week 6. As always, we make our picks. And as always, we share our thoughts from the weekend's past games. And lastly, don't forget, man, college football is in full effect. Week 6, college football has ended. We are slowly approaching what is known as the CFP, college football playoffs. And there are a lot of surprise teams, and there are some usual suspects. But this weekend was shakeup. Alabama goes down this weekend to Texas A&M in interesting fashion. Georgia makes another statement. They know how to score points and defend. And then the Big Ten, which is where we are, for those of you who are listening out there live, this is Big Ten country. We are in Michigan, and we both are Michigan fans. Michigan, Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State. The Big Ten has a bunch of teams in the top 10 right now. Michigan comes off a big win against Nebraska. Michigan State comes off a win at home. Iowa gets Penn State late and knocks them off a little bit. Ohio State keeps winning. So it's real tight in the Big Ten, but Michigan is in first place in the Big Ten East right now, which we haven't seen that in years. Are we ready to believe yet or not? Is that much more tonight? Get yourselves ready, man. Let somebody know you're in the building. Let us know you're in the building because we got a lot to talk about. Make sure you share your thoughts tonight live on the Academy Sports Show.
For sure. Let's kick this thing off right. All right. So, like Joe said, our first subject, our baby here is what the meme. So we got three
What the
memes for you.
meme? We should get like a
For you.
little music playing. We got to get a little intro song for what the meme. Right.
All right. So what the meme? First slide here is rank these rim protectors. Rank them by their abilities and not how much you like them. That goes for a couple of these guys here. Okay, you understand me? We got Dwight Howard in this.
Are you talking to me directly?
Not you directly, everybody.
Oh, okay.
We got a bunch of people in
you know
here.
You got a couple of a-holes on this list. Is that what you?
Yeah, we got a couple people here. Listen, we got some non-Piston fans. We got some Atlanta Falcon fans in the building. I know some biases is about to pop out of here, you know. So we got Dwight Howard, we got Mutombo, we got Ben Wallace, and we got Hakeem Olajuwon. So rank these rim protectors. I was scrolling one day and this popped up. I was like, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna ask the fellas, what you got? What's your ranking? What's your ranking of these 4 rim protectors? All kind of different eras here.
Yeah, different eras, and I gotta actually go back in my head right now and think about when I saw these guys protecting the rim and how did it feel? Did it feel impactful? Did it feel like that was happening a lot? I'm gonna go with number 1. I think number 1 for me is easy on this list, and that's Mutombo. I think if you got one of these, like everybody, this is universal, right? Now he's in Geico commercials. Yeah. So I think that's an easy call. I think it gets interesting after number 1, but Dikembe Mutombo, there's one thing that man could do. It was block a basketball. It was protect the rim. So I think that's an easy call. Dikembe, even though he got posterized a couple times, that man did his job. As far as keeping the rim protected. Number 2. I'm trying to remember Hakeem being a rim protector like that.
I'm about to pull up the all-time leader in blocks.
Oh gosh, maybe. Well, I'm gonna give I'll go to number 2, and then I might change it.
Give it. Give it, and then I give you the stats.
I'll go Ben at 2. Ben was a force on block shots and rebounds. His rebounding prowess was amazing. He was up there with the some of the greats. And then I'm gonna go Olajuwon 3, and I'm gonna go Howard at 4.
All right, so you got Mutombo, Ben, Dwight,
Hakeem, Dwight
last. Okay.
Dwight last.
All right. Let's see.
Ooh, look at this. Responding quickly. Dennis Mutombo, Dream, Big Ben, Dwight. Perry said Mutombo, Dwight, Ben, Hakeem. Yeah, that Hakeem was tricky for me because I don't know if I remember him being blocker like that. So I think him and Dwight are interchangeable. But I feel like I remember Dikembe and I remember Ben.
Yeah, I would have. I think we all got a consensus. Number 1 is Dikembe. Number 1, because I mean he was known for just the one thing, like just blocking shots. That was his thing. So I would have, without going back to the stats, I would have said Dikembe first. I would have said Dwight second because I think Dwight had a solid run of blocking shots. Okay. I think Ben one of his greatest arsenals was blocking shots, but to me, I think that Dwight would have had better numbers than him just blocking shots off of just height, and Ben was a better defender, like one-on-one defender.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if blocking shots was,
That's how I feel about Olajuwon.
Yeah, so I feel like I would have went Mutombo, Dwight, Hakeem, Ben. As rim protectors. That's the question. Like a rim protector.
Yeah.
So that's how I would have went.
Okay. So you pulled up stats, I take it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see. Like me and Lawrence were kind of close. He went Mutombo, Dwight, Ben, Hakeem.
Yep.
So all-time leader in blockers. Number 1, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Really?
Number 1, 3,830. 3,830 is Hakeem Olajuwon.
Wow. Who knew?
Number 2, Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay.
3,289. So there's like a 600, 650 difference there between Dikembe and Hakeem, between 1 and 2. Going down, you got Dwight Howard at 13.
Okay.
At 2,192. And then right under him, 14 is Ben Wallace. It's
Wow. Okay.
2,137.
Okay.
So this last season or two, Dwight passed Ben, playing a little longer than him. So in this meme, we got 1, 2, 13, and 14.
Interesting. That Houston one is a surprise. I mean, I knew the guy was good, but he wasn't even like a 7-footer, which makes that even more impressive.
Yeah.
I believe 3 of the 4 were defensive players of the year. It wasn't all 4.
Hakeem was never defensive player of the year.
It's probably Hakeem, huh?
Yeah, I know. Mutombo
definitely had to be.
Mutombo definitely had it.
Ben was for sure.
Ben and Dwight are multiple-time defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
I think Ben got 4. I think Ben got 4 and Dwight got 3.
Yeah, so that's funny because dang, he leads all time in blocks and he was never defensive player of the year. Wow. Perry said I had no clue about that. Never took the dream as the ultimate rim protector. Yep. If there's stuff I remember about Olajuwon, it's not blocking shots. Remember like the dream shake, right?
Yeah, he won defensive player of the year.
He did?
Yep. The first non-American to win NBA defensive player of the year in the 93-94 season.
Okay. So all 4 of them had one then.
He became the only player to win MVP, defensive player of the year, and finals MVP in the same season.
Got you.
So, yeah. No, Mutombo had to get it. Yep. He won it 4 times. So they all got it.
They all got one. Cool.
They all got it. All right. Next up. All right, here we go. Football. Which running back starts on your roster? On your personal roster. All right. So this is completely up to you. This isn't a ranking. I might flip that later on depending on what I get out of you guys. But which running back starts on your roster? We got Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, so for me, this is funny because I can remember eras, man, growing up. My brother would have picked Eric Dickerson easy. These are all era guys. See, Perry, you listen to this show, man. You join us every week. We will get something new, baby. But man, I have to go with, and they got him in the right jersey too, because he was out cold. He was out cold before he got in this jersey, but I played with him on Madden. I played with this squad on Madden. I gotta go with Marshall Faulk, bro.
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall. I gotta go with Marshall, bro. Just a combination of power, speed, catch the ball out the backfield. That was my guy, bro. Like when I was coming up, that's when those years of Madden, it was Rams, and they had a good defense too. So, it's for me, that's just my guy, and I'm glad we had to have no rules around it.
No rules.
Pick.
No rules.
Let your emotion scream out. I'm riding with Marshall.
Marshall. Listen. We letting our emotions ride with it. You talk about Madden. You talk about winning championships, sir. Me and LT all day. You understand me? LaDainian Tomlinson was the pinnacle of my Madden career. Okay? The brother had so many touchdowns. I wanted to watch Charger games all the time just because of him. The visor, bro. The visor was cold. He caught touchdowns. He ran touchdowns. He was a humble dude. And he was one of my favorite players growing up. He was one of my favorite dudes to watch. I love LaDainian Tomlinson. I loved his Hall of Fame speech. He just had that one blemish, in his career when he was pouting on the sideline with his helmet on. And that team never got over the hump. I was so sad for them.
Yeah,
I always
they
wanted
always
them
got
to win.
close.
I always wanted them to win, bro. But yeah, ball up, bro. Daniel Thompson, that was my guy.
Nice. Let's see. Perry said I gotta go LT. Let's see. Dennis didn't say nothing yet. P didn't say nothing yet. But yeah, all those guys are good. Like I said, my brother's definitely my brothers, I can hear him now, like Eric Dickerson all day. Like I first learned about running backs. My brother actually played football when I was young. He was actually really good in middle school and high school until he got hurt. So it was it's crazy because it was Eric Dickerson for him. Is that Eric Dickerson, Roger Craig kind of high leg running style, like early Madden Tecmo Bowl, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, but all these guys are great, man. Adrian Peterson's a machine.
I wasn't allowed to like Adrian Peterson.
Nah, I can understand that. Your dad's a Detroiter, so
that was all me, Doc. That was all me. I can't. I appreciate him, but like, bro, you killed us.
You just weren't allowed yourself as a Lions fan.
Myself to no, not at all.
Yeah, bro.
Couldn't do it.
Marshall.
Yeah, for the longest, I thought Marshall Faulk only played for the Rams.
Oh no!
I saw his highlight. I was like, he on the wrong team. It's like y'all traded Marshall Faulk, really?
Bro.
That happened in real life.
Real life,
man, made the greatest show on turf.
Yep, they were loaded.
All right, last one. Which defensive unit is tougher to move the ball against? So on the left, we got Palomalu.
Oh wait, we got a pair. We got pairs.
This is unit versus unit, left versus right.
Oh snap!
So the left unit on that defense, they got Palomalu, Ray Lewis, Charles Woodson, and the craziest linebacker you ever know, and Lawrence Taylor. And on the right, we got Dion, we got Reed, we got Junior Seau, and Reggie White. Which defense would be the toughest unit to move the ball against? I'm gonna go left.
You going with who?
I'm going with Palomalu's crew. I'm going Palomalu, Ray, Lawrence, and Charles.
I'm gonna go with
the left to right speed on this team at linebacker is ridiculous. All the guys in their prime.
Jeez, man. I'm gonna go with the same group. And not only that, LT can put his hand in the dirt too. He ruined a man's career. Coming off the edge. Woodson and Palomalu in their prime. Man, that's tough though, because Reed, bro, and Junior, Reggie. Oh, Reggie was one of my favorites. I'm gonna still go with LT and Ray being on the same side. That does it for me.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna be able to run the ball on them guys. Neither one of these units. But I'm gonna go with the fellas on the left too. Man, that's a hard one.
You got 299 running back, 299 linebackers, bro. Like that left to right is crazy. Like you are not going nowhere against them. You're not going nowhere against these dudes, bro.
Man, that's a group. Yeah, man. Perry said I would never go against LT and the Giants. Yeah, boy. That defense by itself. If you just call it the units, like that Giants defense that won a Super Bowl, that Ravens defense was sick. Didn't say the left is a dead end. For sure. Yeah, man. I'm going on the left. I'm riding on the left. Sound like everybody agrees.
All right, let's get it. All right, so brother. Here's the keys. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the keys to the car right now. Talk that talk. NCAA football. Let's get it. Michigan wins. Uh, Penn State lose. I mean, like, what's going on here? Alabama loses. Cincinnati's number 3. Iowa with a huge win. What's going on in college football,
Bro, listen. This is so I read an article today talking about how you got to go back to the 2007 season to find a more crazier scenario than what seems to be taking place now. But this is the AP Top 25, the coaches poll as of today. I believe, yeah, this came out today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take a look. There's one team that's not up there, that's been up there for years, and that's Alabama. But they're top 10, but they just lost to Texas A&M. And folks, I don't know if you saw any highlights of this game, but Texas A&M was up. Bama came back. Texas A&M came out with the win. And if you've been watching college football this year, you know Alabama is, and this is going to sound crazy, so I'm not trying to overstate here, but Alabama definitely is not invincible this year. And it's kind of been defensively, they've struggled a little bit, and they don't have the guy at quarterback. That's just in my opinion. I'm not saying he's not good and he's not elite, but they just don't have, to me, in my opinion, they don't have this team that just does not have any weaknesses like they've had in the past. Georgia is the team that everybody actually thinks is the most complete team right now. They can stop anybody. Their defense is sick. As you can see, they got all 62 votes in the AP Top 25. Their defense is sick. Their offense is their offense, and that's always been the thing about Georgia. They always have great defense, and they always have great components to offense. But when their offense has to go win a game, that's when it gets a little tricky. So the jury's still out on that. But then you look at these other teams, man. Let's start with, before we talk about the Big Ten, let's start with Cincinnati. Cincinnati has an opportunity to make history and become the first non-Power 5 school to get into the CFP. And I'm going to be honest with you, folks, that schedule is very favorable to Cincinnati. There's a good chance that they could get there. They already took out Notre Dame. Sorry, Perry. That was a big win for them. Name recognition win. It was, it was touted as a huge victory. And then they have they defend well. They defend well. They don't score consistently, but they defend really well. Now, before we get to the Big Ten, the team that to me is the most questionable in the top 10 right now is OU. Okay. Yes, I know over the weekend they were down 28-7 to their rival in the Red River Shootout. The preseason Heisman favorite gets benched. They bring the man off the bench and he pulls a rabbit out of his hat, and they come back and win this game. Mm-hmm. So the Texas coach, you should lose your job. But do I believe in OU? OU, no, I don't.
Oof.
Here's why. Don't you ever trust a Big 12 team in the college football playoff. If you've ever watched college football in the last 10 years, you do not trust any teams from the Big 12. They score a lot of points, and they cannot defend. They score a lot of points, and they cannot defend. So that is going to come back to bite them at some point, and they typically end up losing a game they should not lose. And I don't see them being there at the end, and if they are, they're going to be ranked number 4. We're all going to be disappointed with that first semifinal game because they're going to get railroaded by whoever the number 1 team is. All right, then you get to Big Ten country. Big Ten country right now. The top 10 is full of Big Ten teams. Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, number 2. Somebody explain that to me.
I got your squad up right now.
Somebody explain that to me. Iowa's at number 2. I don't understand it, but I do because they won, and they haven't really played anybody yet. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But then when you go looking at the rest of the Big Ten, they're all in the top 10. You got Michigan. You got Michigan State. You got Ohio State. You got Penn State. Penn State's coming off of the close loss from Iowa. That's why you see Iowa sitting up there at number 2. However, Michigan State, Michigan, 6-0. Michigan State, Michigan, 6-0. Dennis just said it. I can't believe MSU is 6-0. Dennis, I low-key can't either, but I'm about to be a hater. They played. Who have they played? They haven't played anybody. They beat Rutgers. I know, hey, Rutgers gave Michigan a scare. Okay. They beat Rutgers. They went on the road and beat a semi-mediocre Miami team who everybody wants to be good. Everybody wants them to be great. Oh, you got to have Miami. You know, college football's doing good when Miami's in it. Nah, man, they're not good. So I don't believe in that win. That's not a tough place to win a game to me. So I'm not sure I believe in Michigan State yet. Hey, but you know what? October 30th is coming.
Facts.
October 30th gets here. I'm going to have to find out how much I believe in Michigan State. Because I'm either going to be still going, I don't believe him, I told y'all we got him, or I'm going to be really angry and upset, and we're not going to like my vibe on that.
We are who they thought we were. Let them out the hook.
Oh, God. So
Perry has a good question, man. Are you ready to dethrone Ohio State as the best team in the Big Ten?
I'm not ready to dethrone them. You got to beat them to knock them off the throne, one. But two, here's why I'm not ready to dethrone them just yet. I don't believe in the other teams to be those teams just yet. So if there was ever a year to dethrone Ohio State, it's this one. If you're gonna do it, you better do it this year because they clearly have to get better over time. They're not the juggernaut that they've been. But of course, they're well coached, so they're going to get better. They're going to improve, and guys are going to get more experience. Mm-hmm. They have a freshman quarterback. That always is tricky. They've been lucky to have great guys walk in the building, and that's it. But this is the year to dethrone them. They still have all-world elite talent at wide receiver. They still have a major big-time guy at running back. So they still have the pieces. And until somebody knocks them off, I still got to claim that they're the best team in the Big Ten. I don't believe in Iowa, even though that's a big win against Penn State. I don't believe in Michigan State because I don't think they played anybody. I'm not going to make any predictions about Michigan, Ohio State, but I want to point out that I believe Michigan is a different team. The culture has changed. The story is the culture's changed. I'm treading lightly, Perry. The culture's changed. Harbaugh's rejuvenated. He went out and got younger coaches, probably better recruits. They can relate better. But I'm going to tell you this. It's different. The old U of M football team would have lost to Nebraska this past weekend and to Wisconsin on the road. Two hostile environments. You go in, you get dubs. That's major. That's major. That's all I'm going to say there. So at the end of the day, Iowa, who have you beaten? Penn State. You got them at home. Penn State can be iffy at times. Penn State's always been the one everybody keeps saying, they're going to dethrone. They get close, but they never get there.
Get that one stupid loss.
One loss every year. So to me, this comes down to, can Michigan get through Penn State and Michigan State to set up another classic in Ann Arbor in late November?
Or is the Big Ten going to beat up on each other so bad
exactly
towards the end that nobody's the clear-cut favorite?
Well, here I think that two Big Ten teams can get in the CFP because I think one could get in by winning their conference championship, and I think one could get in by not making it to their conference championship, and that being their one loss. So I think there's a chance for two of these teams to still get there. As you can see, Iowa's on the fast track, right, to their Big Ten title game because they're in the West.
Yep.
There's nobody left for them to play. So if there's an upset coming, that's the only where they're going to get knocked off. The other side of it is the East, and the East is loaded. And to me, it's whoever can get through undefeated, that's who's going to be into the Big Ten. With a win, gets them in the CFP. But if somebody has a one loss, like I could see Ohio State, Michigan, Whoever wins that goes to the Big Ten, wins it, gets in. But I can see the loser of that game getting in as well because of certain other teams losing in the top 5. And right now, you could argue that the best conference in college football resides up north here in the Big Ten. Why all these folks always yelling SEC, SEC,
but
SEC.
we've heard this before, and then we get the bowl season and go 0-9.
I'm not claiming bowl season is indicative of how good your conference is. So, I mean, like you said, they beat up on each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Iowa's offense is horrible. It's deplorable, actually. And this was a messy game at best. But hey, at the end of the day, like I said, it was kind of nighttime by the time they got to where it got late. But it wasn't a blackout though. That place is a tough place to play on blackouts. If you got the 8:00 game on this schedule blackout, you might as well count that as a loss.
It's just what's known to happen.
Yeah. The game that scares me the most as a Michigan fan right now is the Penn State game. That's the game that scares me most because that's going to probably be a whiteout game, and we got to go on the road. So we got to go on the road to State. We got to go on the road to Penn State. Then we got home for Ohio State. The game that scares me and my blocking is the Penn State game because I feel like we can beat Michigan State, but that's probably just Homer talking, and I don't know how I feel about Ohio State. I would not speak on that until that week. It's the Michigan State. It's the Penn State game for me. But that's really it, man. That's college football in a nutshell, man. You got 10 teams, of which 4 of them reside. Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, Penn State. 5 of them are from the same, or 4 of them are from the same division in college football, being in the Big Ten East. And then the 5th resides in the Big Ten as well. And the other half is made up of a couple of newbies and some same old folks. So for a minute there, it was Georgia and Alabama's to lose. Alabama lost. Can Alabama get back in? It's going to be an interesting watch.
That is the one right there. You can't have a college football playoff without Alabama, can you? No Clemson, no Alabama.
This might be the year. They won't be Clemson. We know that for sure.
Right.
This might be the year, man. You know, low key, watch out for Kentucky in the SEC. They knocked off Florida and LSU.
Wow.
So now the SEC East is going to be interesting, but do I believe that if Alabama is there in the West, that they can get it done? I don't know. Is it going to be Georgia and Alabama for the SEC title? Can Georgia finally get over the hump?
Right.
You know, so I don't know. This is definitely going to be a fun rest of the season, and it's going to be fun to see where teams end up. But I'm treading lightly. I agree with Perry that OSU is shaky. But like you said, number 2, number 5, and number 32 are all scoring points.
Great season of college football so far. All right. Next up, man, we ain't got to stay here long. Last week, we had a great time with the Urban Meyer stuff, man. We had a great time with the Urban Meyer stuff. Maybe he's just holding the stool. Here's another coach in hot water, and his guy resides in Las Vegas. If you haven't been up to date on this story, it came out, a couple of days ago, honestly. It's not too old. So John Gruden, the Las Vegas Raiders head coach, some emails came surfaced. Nobody knows where these emails came from. They just popped up on the grid. And in said email, John Gruden had a line that said DeMaurice Smith, named Dumb Morris, called him Dumb.
Dumb. That looks like Dumb Boris. Like
DeMaurice. DeMaurice Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires. Okay? This is when DeMaurice Smith, I don't know if he still is, but was the Players Association representative, and John Gruden was no longer in the NFL at that point in time. This email was 10 years old, but it just resurfaced, and he's apologizing for it. He says he doesn't have an ounce of racism in his body. We've all heard that one. And he said that his reference of Michelin tires is of rubber, and that's what he calls liars, rubber-lipped people. So I don't know, but he's apologized. He's had a conversation with his team. He apologized to his team for the distraction. What do you say, sir? What is the proper punishment for Mr. John Gruden? A lot of folks are saying he was not employed in the NFL during this period. So can they really punish him for it?
Why? Okay, so I told you to just give me enough, and then I'm just make. Maybe this is gonna be controversial. Maybe it's not. First of all, it was 10 years ago. We don't even know where this came from. Why is this even coming up? Why is this even a topic? And the merits of racism are interesting to me. His context of what he said he was putting it in actually makes really good sense to me. It's a clever way of going about it. Oftentimes, and this maybe I'm being naive here, maybe I'm really making an overarching statement, but I feel like when we have these statements that are made by people and then they give their responses, you can kind of tell from the response sometimes how genuine or sincere a person is being. Like my man on the open mic during the national anthem for the high school girls team,
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh man, my sugar was low." Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Okay.
My sugar was low.
Yeah, like I go on these rants, and so he's taking responsibility of saying, "Hey, I said it. Here's the context I said it in. It's not racist." Now, I will give yeah. Oh, we gotta go back and grab that comment that Perry put in. But I will say this, just to white people, if you're listening or if you're going to be listening, don't say I don't have any racism in my body. I have an ounce of racism. Don't do that. That's like
not an ounce.
Yeah. Don't never. When you said he said that, I was like, dang it, you had me until you said that. But at the end of the day, punishment.
Not an ounce of racism in my body.
Yeah, at the end of the day, punishment. Hey man, punishment. Be honest with you, 10 years ago. Sorry, bro. I'm out on the punishment. I don't, and I'm gonna be honest. What do we know about this guy? Like, a lot of guys that played for him, and you've never heard. Remember when Scotty came out about Phil?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what? Like, oops. It's like, bro, shut up. Like, what are you saying? Like, you're talking crazy. So it's like stuff like this. Like, he's in an environment with a lot of black men. And it's like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but so many years of just coaching a lot of really good players, Hall of Famers, different backgrounds. I don't know. I think it's in that environment. Maybe it's a little harder to beat. I don't know. I don't have supporting evidence on this one. But punishment after a 10-year random email pops up. Come on.
Listen, Spider Y2 Banana. He might
10 years though.
He might listen. These emails, these tweets from decades ago is losing people's jobs, losing opportunities. You understand?
We're so upset now. We're so sensitive.
Off of old stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you listen, we going through the Chappelle stuff right now. People going through what you say. It's on wax, whether you put it on paper, whether you type it with your fingers. You said it, and you listen. You're gonna have to reap the consequences of the era that comes next, and not necessarily the era that you're in.
Hey, the Dave Chappelle joint was hilarious, bro.
So
because you got to know the context. Like, that's my point. I guess that's my point. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's my point. It's like, what's the context that we're making these statements in? Like, so he can't tell a joke and then not be racist, right? Because typically we have big lips, right? That's one of the things. So we're super sensitive. So I guess it's like you just can't say anything and it be, yeah. I don't know.
Listen, the easy way out of this is fine him an absurd amount of money and just let it go. He's not getting fired. I don't think he's getting fired for something he said 10 years ago. It wasn't the N-word. specifically. I believe that would have got him out quicker. Making a characteristic joke that he can flip into what he calls liars of rubber lips and all this other stuff. I don't know. Like, listen, we don't know some of these people that we think we know.
We
and
don't.
The things they say behind closed doors and not the things they say.
We're comfortable with, but we don't know them, but we're comfortable with labeling them. It's you never notice. It's never, well, I don't know him, so maybe he's not. It's, well, I don't know him, so he probably is.
Because, I mean, I feel like that's the safer route to go sometimes. I feel like that's the safer route to go sometimes. Like, you got this glimpse here, and it's like, bro, like, are you? Well, I mean, I guess that's enough for me to put you in this box.
Maybe that's it. Maybe everybody has to decide what's enough for their box.
Like, how many times you gotta? Yeah, I think that's enough for me to put you in the racist box.
Clearly, once.
Yeah, I think that's enough. You're in it now. We go ahead and put that, seal it up, and you're in that box now. But as far as the NFL, I don't think nothing more than a harsh fine is going to come down on him. He does have the loophole of, I wasn't employed by you when this came out.
Yeah, like, we're finding the guy for 10 years ago email. Like, the NFL's vetting program is serious. Y'all didn't find this email?
Nah, yeah, I don't think the Raiders are going to fire him either. So if it is what Dennis saying, that they put the pressure on the Raiders to do the punishment, I don't think the Raiders will fine him. I mean, I fire him. I think he's just going to get a fine. What they say?
So Dennis, let's see. Perry said, "Brother Joel, sir, did you say watch out for UK?" I did. Going back to college football, I did. I read an article today that I thought was interesting, pointing out some things. Dennis said the league sent other emails to the Raiders today so they can decide what actions to take. He even fired off on Roger Goodell. Oh, well, that'll get him fined because they're not going to allow that. Make an example out of him and give him harsh punishment. That was some BS. He knew what he was doing, SMH. Dan Goss, he started laughing. Well, that's Junior, actually. He laughed when I made the comment about white people. Please don't say, I don't have an ounce of racism in me.
Not an ounce.
Not an ounce, maybe a milliliter, says Dennis. Should get a slap on the wrist as a warning, though, if not harsh punishment. Perry said, I would like to know the end result of a punishment. Oh, it will eradicate racism in all professional sports. Yeah, I got it. That bell's for his sarcasm, just to help you guys categorize his statement. I mean, I'm kind of, yeah, I guess Perry's with me on this and Dennis is with you.
But you got to do something, right? Because something else is going to come up. Something else is going to come up about some other coach or some other player, and you got to set what the bar is. What's the line? Because some other coach is going to come in and he's going to call some player a monkey behind his back 12 years from now, and then we're like, well, they didn't do nothing to John Gruden, so what you going to do something to me for? You got to set a precedent. You got to he has to feel it somehow, some way.
So here's what you just said. You basically just said we have to punish this guy just to set a precedent, not because he's right or wrong. He may actually not be racist and actually made a statement that was a joke because he could have been pissed off at DeMaurice Smith for whatever reason.
But you can make a joke in jest, but the joke in jest has racial undertones.
Okay, that doesn't make him a racist.
But the punishment will make you double check.
No, the punishment will validate him as a racist because that's what everybody will think is that he made it.
I don't think it'll. I don't. Well, people got their mind made up one way or another.
Yeah, court of public opinion is gonna make this man racist.
I think it validates that zero tolerance of any racial undertones slur will ever be tolerated.
10 years ago, not employed by you. This is my personal email. 10 years ago, no, sorry.
You have
and
there's
here's
no
what's going
undertones in this email right here, in this snippet right here. No racial undertones whatsoever. You ain't never seen a cartoon.
Absolutely, I know.
The kid blew up and the big red lips popped out and the little braids. That's what it's subtle, but it's there.
Thank you very much. I got that.
Okay.
I know. I clearly this has it's not even, it's the undertones are obvious here, right? We have always been depicted as big lip, big nose individuals, jumping around and cooning for people. I get it. So I get that. But again, if you look back at historically at some of the things people have said and gotten lambasted for it, I look at their responses to it. I look at kind of how they react to the criticism. And a lot of times you get really stupid responses. And to me, his response makes sense. And I think punishing him for a 10-year-old email when he was a private citizen is you're setting precedents for who? Like, for this to possibly happen again when in 10 years somebody else wants to clearly piss somebody off, or maybe he pissed somebody off and here comes another random email. You didn't get all these damn emails. You better get them. Like, why are we talking about a 10-year-old email? I think in 5 years, it's more likely that somebody's just going to make a dumb comment behind somebody's back, and that'll be easier to say, man, that dude's a racist, than it would be to say this dude's a racist off of a 10-year-old private email. Like you said, it's easier to make him the bad guy than it is to give him the benefit of the doubt and look at his reputation and look at, have you heard anything else that supports this narrative about John Gruden?
Oh man, I don't know. We on different sides here. We on different sides of the spectrum here.
Perry said, "Are we dealing with Urban's best friend in Iowa, or are we dealing with Donald Sterling?"
I don't think he's of that ilk of that hard. I mean, Donald Sterling had a long track record, right? Like you were saying, like, can I find different mediums of where these things are an obvious example? And Donald Sterling and the strength coach from Iowa all had the same kind of, track record. I just want to quell the future jackass from making insensitive comments and thinking they can get away with it just by apologizing.
Okay.
That's all.
You think that this punishment, if they give him one, will do that?
I don't think it will, but I think it'll set a precedent of punishment. Like, something was done. If not, like, at the end of the day, right, when we get in these scenarios, we just want something done and you not to ignore it like it never happened. Like, I just want something done to acknowledge that your apology, as sincere as it may have been, what you said still hurt people and the person that it was directed to.
Okay. Well said.
Some other coach calling somebody else Michelin tire lips. Now you're telling me that there's no punishment for that.
Yeah, man. The odds to me of history repeating itself, I guess this specifically, are tough for me. If this was an email he sent right in the preseason, then I'm probably having a different opinion about it. But when you read the story, right? I think you read it. Nobody even knows where this came from.
Nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows where it came from, bro. Nobody knows where it came from. But racism doesn't have to be blatant, man. It can be true. It can be, very subliminal.
I guess I also don't. I guess I don't. My perspective.
Either racism or just ignorance to the fact.
Yeah, my perspective on racism too is that I don't think it'll ever be eradicated. So I think it'll always be around. No. So I think that at some point, I don't know that punishing him is gonna. I mean, don't stop anything, but it'll definitely say, well, we can point back to, oh, you did it too now. Okay, well, we can point back to when Gruden did it. Give him 10 years.
Is that what you quantify this to? Like, if you punish him, it eradicates racism. Like, it's not going to do it, so why do it anyway?
What's the purpose for the punishment for something you cannot truly, like I said, I think that to me, my experience with racism personally and my experience of seeing racism always look different than what this to me doesn't look racist. This looks like perception. This looks like media buzz. This looks like we need some juice this week. It's a 10-year-old email. It's not even current. It's not even relevant to now. I guess you could argue that maybe it is, but like that's so. My experience of racism have been, some have been overt, some have been covert, and some have been direct. But they look very similar and they feel very similar. This just doesn't pass the field test for me. I think that's just really. I know it has the undertones, right, or the overtones. I got that piece of it, so I get why this is a big deal. But when I like to judge sometimes a person by their character, and the history of him, I had not heard any inkling of racism. And I think it's easier for us to label than it is for somebody to take a stance and say, but what if he's telling the truth? He can't make a crass joke. Does he have to be super aware when he's joking that, like, or for example, Dave Chappelle can get away with it and he knows what he's saying. This is his set.
That's his job. John Gruden's job is not to make crass jokes that might be implied as racist down the line.
John Gruden wasn't working at this time. John Gruden was a man who makes crass jokes.
Okay, but I mean, then he put it out there in one medium or not, and then it got picked up. So now you got to atone for the words that you wrote, whether it was meant to be private or not. A lot of people done got killed for private stuff that was supposed to be private, and now it came to the light. So, just because he doesn't have a track record, I feel like this is the track record. Like this is the beginning of it. How many more tracks do you need? How many hurdles do you need for it to be a track record? Can't the first hurdle be it?
It's a track record. But see, that's the thing though. This is the beginning of his track record. An email from 10 years ago. Again, Urban Meyer, right? Urban Meyer's got a track record. Okay, so last week in the bar, that was a hilarious set we did about whether or not he was just holding the chair. But Urban Meyer's got a track record, like, of just being kind of a shady character. Okay?
Okay.
We don't have that on Gruden. So is a 10-year-old email the beginning of his track record? A 10-year-old email when he was a private citizen. He's not. So we can't. It's not his job to. He's a man. He can email all day. He can do whatever he wants.
For sure.
I'm with Perry on this one. Who put this email out and what are the motives?
Why does that matter?
Oh, it matters because we live in a day and time of overload information. And some of that information is we live in a day and time of disinformation. Like, for example, we've had this talk a little bit. It is simmered down. It got quiet, right? But we still waiting on that Deshaun Watson situation to come to light. And again, you got, I'm exaggerating, and please don't take this as being insensitive to sexual crimes. I understand those are a serious matter.
Oh, look at you preface it.
Okay.
You don't want to say the wrong thing now, do you?
We got listeners, right? We got listeners.
All right, there we go.
But again, the man says, I want to get traded. I don't want to ever play here again. Da-da-da-da-da. And the racial overtone of that is you got a white man who owns his business called the NFL football team. And you got coaches coming out saying you need to stay in your place, shut up and play football. And now those have some racial overtones to them. And all of a sudden, charges of this and that and the third. Stuff comes up sometimes. And it comes up for a reason. Not necessarily to get a person in trouble, in real trouble, but to get them in social trouble. To get them judged by the public opinion. I'm just saying, what's the background on this email? 10 years. It's 2021. Why is this email out? Who released this email?
We're not on the same page. I can just say that. To me, it don't matter who released it. You said it, you did it. If I ever become super stupid famous and a millionaire, the first thing I'm doing is deleting my Twitter. Because I don't want nothing from 2006 to come to light that I said, and I got to apologize for it. I understand people grow. They become different people over the decades of their life. So maybe he's not this person that said these words right now in 2021, but you said them. So you got to, I mean, you put it out there. You felt some type of way about it, enough to press in. So, I mean, here it is. You feel you should be ashamed of it right now. And you should be punished for it. That's all I'm saying. Is it going to eradicate racism? No. Is he going to lose his job? Probably not. Are we going to talk about something next week different? Probably so. But at the end of the day, it said something. Do something. We always beg for something to be done because we know the harsh thing is never going to get done. Something happens to us, we never. Okay, he's going to get skated. He's going to slap on the wrist. When something happens, it's like, oh, they actually really did something. That's a sigh of relief to us. But I mean, like, at least do something. I'm not saying that that he said the N-word or it was just over the top, but it does have it is violated to me. To me, it's violated. Somebody says shit like that to me, I don't care how long it is ago. I want an apology and I want you in trouble for it.
Right,
but he don't talk to me like that.
Is that on? He's not talking to you though.
But he's talking about somebody else. This email is 11.
Is that you or is that him?
You. I mean, personalize it. Put yourself in that man's shoes.
No, I don't have to. That's the thing. Okay. I see. That's the thing. Like, and I think that's where we get into jumping on the bandwagon. Like, I don't have to put myself in that man's shoes. I can just be my own black man and I don't have to be offended by his statement because I have questions about why we're doing this. Like,
but the black man in the statement is offended.
Okay. So, and guess what he did? He apologized to the black man. Okay. For a comment he made 10 years ago.
Okay.
For a joke he made 10 years ago. And why didn't Perry just asked the question that I want to know? Why didn't we expose the man in 2011? It would have been popular. Super Bowl winning coach. Who was the old hag that got on the radio talking about Deshaun Watson? And they were up in arms. Oh, so-and-so coach is saying. Why don't we expose him in 2011? Who did he piss off? Why? Who doesn't want John Gruden to make it in the NFL? Why all of a sudden is this? Why did we expose John Gruden 2 years ago when the Las Vegas Raiders sucked and they couldn't defend and they couldn't block for the quarterback? Oh, now they might be a really good team, man.
So some nefarious troll sees the Raiders winning, and he's a Chargers fan, and he goes, you know what? Just
I don't believe that the government is truly always out to support us as people. I don't always believe that every time you see stuff like this, it always is what it is. Sometimes I like to look at the whole thing and go, what about him that suggested this? And now all of a sudden, 10 years, we're not talking about 2 years ago. We're not talking about the other day. We're talking about 10 years ago.
It still happened.
We didn't expose this dude.
It still happened. It happens. I feel like, especially over these last couple years, your mind frame has to change from usually, all right, I'm going to let that slip. You probably shouldn't be saying that to me, but I'm going to let that go and just keep going. No, we ain't letting nothing go no more. I ain't, what Perry said, more serious racial issues, I understand, but every racial issue is serious. I'm not letting nothing slip no more. Because if you feel that way, to say some crap like that about me now, you can say it later. You can say it about somebody else. I nip it in the bud now, so then later not to talk to no other black person like you crazy. So I ain't letting nothing slip.
And so there's no wrong answer here. So because how you feel about it is right for you. So there's no wrong answer here. I just think that that's a place that we all choose to. There's a place we all choose to be in when it comes to the whole experience of being black in America and dealing with things of this nature. And so I think sometimes we're in different places. And if the place that you're in is no holds barred, nobody's slipping anymore, then that's a fair place to be. And there's been enough done to justify being in that place. I don't think I'm in that same place specifically for this. Because again, like I said, there's other situations where I probably would be like, yep, 100%, I'm with you on that one. This one doesn't feel right to me, just like the Deshaun Watson thing doesn't feel right. But I think that type of crime and everything, if he did it, he needs to pay the price. But if he didn't, and there's a reason why it's not news anymore, and there's a reason why that junk ain't made it to criminal court yet. Like, some stuff happens, and it just happens, and it's the easy way to slow some people down and put some people back in their place. But I don't know. Some just don't. Some to me ain't clean in this situation. We got a 2011 email, and it's 2021.
Okay, so we are where we are. All right, that's a good place to be. Perry, thank you for the interjection and the commentary.
Yes, sir.
He said, "Man, I want people to be honest about how they really feel." For sure, that's what I'm saying. Say it. If that's on your heart, say that shit, and then I can judge exactly who you are. And I'm judging this man off of this.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And you have that's what I'm saying. You have every right to.
If I was an NFL player, I'm not playing for the Las Vegas Raiders.
There are a lot of NFL players that have played for this guy and will believe that this is a joke.
That is true. There is because they know them. They know that person, and they know how crass he is or not. You know that person. Like, it could be somebody in your life right now, and somebody say, "Hey, this person said this." You'd be like, "No, not him. Not her. I wouldn't believe that. I know. I've been knowing them for 20, 30 years. They wouldn't say nothing like that." So it's just, how you choose to see it. I'm not letting nothing slip. And if that's how he felt in 2011, then that's how he felt. I don't know how that's how you feel in 2021. You can apologize all you want to, make you feel like you're trying to save your job, but hey, that's just how I see it.
Or maybe the way he felt in 2011 is the same way he feels in 2021, and it doesn't have any racial overtone to it. He just feels like Dumbora Smith has lips the size of Michelin tire, and because he's a liar, and DeMar Smith does not have the greatest reputation with a lot of people around the NFL. Daniel Goff says, Junior says, judge everyone by the content of their character. Simple. Not always simple either, but I guess that's where I'm standing on this particular situation. Is we have a 10-year-old email that just randomly appeared today or over the weekend in week 5 of the NFL season, of which the Las Vegas Raiders are what? 3-2 right now.
You've answered both, but I feel like I'm taking the impact of the words more than the intent of the timing of the release of the email. That's not even a factor to me. That's not even top 10 of 10 for me.
It's there for me.
All right.
Perry says, good conversation. I believe so. I agree.
For sure. All right. Let's get to the ball. We got some time.
NFL, baby.
NFL. I made this one, but we can try to just skip through it here. Just give me a hard answer. We can get to our top 5s. Which team is most likely to make the playoffs? Both of these teams are 3-2. Who you got, the Bengals or the Tennessee Titans?
Neither.
You got to pick
one. Tennessee, because their division is most likely they're in the South, right?
Yeah.
It's them, the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Texans, right?
Yeah.
So Tennessee's going to get there by default.
Got it. All right. So here we go.
Yeah. The Bengals are good, but they're going to have issues with the Ravens and the Browns.
Appreciate it, Dennis. All right. Joel's top 5. I know we got a hard stop coming up in about 10 minutes, so let's get this out the way. Wrap this up. Make sure you guys follow everything Cali Sports Show, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. And please make sure to share the stream, however you like, man. Just text it to your friends or just tag them in it. Let them know that we online every Monday at 7 o'clock, getting it in, talking about your favorite sports topics and getting a little deeper as the topics get deeper. But here we go. Joel's top 5 NFL teams. Sir, here's your slide. I'll let you take it away.
Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bounce back. And I say bounce back. They didn't have the greatest showing up in Foxborough. A lot of hype around that game. And then the 40-year-old came out and threw, 5 touchdowns yesterday? Mm-hmm. So Bucs looks like they're back in line with how they were last season. So I got them coming in at number 5. A couple of my just outsider teams like the Rams, they took a L. Ravens got bumped this week just because of the teams that have already played to me, just put up stronger performances. and they play the Colts tonight. I expect it to be a blowout, but I would have the Ravens really sitting back there at number 6. Rams are back there. Cleveland lost a tough one this week to the Chargers, so they fell out. Number 4, Green Bay. Again, week 1, as Perry would say, A-Rod was point shaving, but they've moved forward. And I think this week was interesting because a lot of people picked had Cincinnati winning that game because Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the greatest record against the Bengals. They went in there and stole. I don't want to say stole one, but they definitely went in there and they got lucky. I'll say they got lucky.
The kickers were not kicking.
Yes, Cincinnati had no answer for them, but neither one of the kickers could make a field goal. I still won this week with Mason Crosby as my field goal kicker because he still got me double digits, but I was definitely a little frustrated about that. But that offense looks tough again, and anytime Aaron Rodgers gets a running game, that's where it's going to get interesting. Number 3, I got the Chargers, man. The offense is sick. Defense plays fast. Defense hits really, really hard. It's interesting because the Browns ran the ball all over them, and I like the fact that the Browns are able to play any style of game. And it just came down to Herbert having the ball last and a couple of questionable calls, but I won't be that guy tonight. The Chargers are definitely
they got enough time to be that guy.
Yeah, the Chargers are definitely a legit team. And then Arizona, man, still undefeated. Scary, scary, scary. Would actually still be my number 1, but I thought that the Buffalo Bills were really, really impressive last night. Kansas City's got issues, I know, but it's still Kansas City. I like the way they defended. They played fast. They had a game plan. They came in and executed. I also thought they had the edge because of just having lost that championship game last year. So you're kind of coming in with that edge on your shoulder. But Buffalo, to me, really showed up. And right now, Buffalo's the best team in the AFC. And Arizona's showing up to be the best team in the NFC. So right now, I got them at 1 and 2. But yeah, Herbert is a monster, man. Dennis just pointed that out. And, I just want to bring this quote up real quick, wondering if y'all remember me picking Buffalo against KC, especially with Dre leaving them off the list. Yeah, I believe I also picked Buffalo to beat KC. So I think you're on your own on that one, buddy. So that's my top 5. Got you back next week.
Listen, sometimes that old thing just kept looking good to me. Okay, Kansas City, I'll admit, I was wrong. I admit I was wrong, and I was so
it's been
wrong.
Happening a lot lately.
What? Since when?
I think the last few admits our wrongs have come from you.
Name 3. So
Lions Packers upset.
First of all, that's just a game pick, man. We counting game picks now. That's what we counting.
When you put together a whole skit where the hat is different at the beginning, and then you got to eat that.
It's the home team, man. Come on, man.
What was the other one that I pointed out?
Cleveland have I put against you now?
Wait, hold on. Tennessee. What about that one? Remember you guys got on me about Tennessee?
It was preseason. So next time you say Cleveland, you damn sure better book it. Now we counting. Okay, we counting now. I understand.
Big picks, baby.
You better hold those Clevelands real close until you know it's coming. All right? Because I'm counting now. That's what we doing. Oh, I'm counting. All right, so here's my top 5.
Whoa.
I am Team
Somebody
Buffalo
got some
now.
hit right in there.
I put Buffalo up in there. All right, so at number 5, I still put the Rams, man. I put Rams at 5. Thursday night, they beat up on the Seahawks pretty well. So I didn't drop them out of my top 5, so I put them in there. At number 4, I got the Cowboys. I dropped them down because other teams had a better showing than them, but I still believe they're a top 5 team. They had a good showing against, I believe they played the Giants this week. And this is a team that's good on all 3 phases right now. I mean, they're clicking on Dak is really throwing the ball. You got a 2-headed monster now at running back. Zeke is not just a featured back. You got him and Pollard in there doing their thing. Great receivers. And, Diggs, defensive player of the year right now. 5 picks, 5 games, 6 picks. all total. Like this kid is really balling. Can they sustain it? That's the thing. That's always about the Cowboys. But I do believe they are one of the best teams in the NFC. At number 3, I'm gonna go to Chargers, man. Great showing against the Browns. Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray. We had that discussion a couple weeks ago. Like these two guys are here now. They have arrived.
Didn't you question Justin Herbert?
I said no. I didn't question him. I just said I would take Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray has a better projection than Justin Herbert. So that was my
see how clarity brings it.
That was my stance. But I never knocked the fella for being a good quarterback. The Bolts, man, they just always that team that floats. But they look like they're putting it all together right now.
Yeah, they do look good.
And they dominating some teams, and they're winning the games that they normally would lose. So I got the Bolts at number 3. I got Buffalo at number 2, man. You beat Kansas City in a big game on a Sunday night against a team that you lost the AFC Championship to. I mean, they had a great build to that game. Like everybody knew they were on the cusp. But you got to break that door down of being that team, and they solidified themselves as the best team in the AFC by dismantling Patrick Mahomes, making him look disheveled on the sideline. And they did the thing, man. Josh Allen is definitely here. Josh Allen is definitely a top 5 quarterback in this league right now. So look out, Buffalo Bills. So I'm gonna give them their due and all of their respect right now. And this is a team I don't expect to fall out of my top 5 all year. This team I expect to be.
I think they hung around in ours last year.
Yeah, I expect this team to be in the top 5 for the majority of this year, if not never leave. And at number 1, I got the Arizona Cardinals, man, undefeated. Kyler Murray still doing his thing. This offense is ridiculous. Definitely, they took it to the Rams, so they definitely beat good opponents leading up. But they just got to win this division. They win this division, they will definitely be battle tested. So I got the Cardinals still at number 1, the undefeated team.
Nice. I do have a question about one team in your top 5.
The same team y'all always got questions about. Okay, what Cowboy question you got right now?
I mean, they haven't won it. Like, do you believe in them? They haven't played. To me, their competition has been secondary.
I mean, that's how I felt about Buffalo. Like until they actually went and beat somebody, but I feel like the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys are good on all phases. I feel like Dak is stringing together great games. Their rushing attack hasn't been stopped yet. Their offensive line is the best that it's been in years, and the defense is doing their job. I mean, with Diggs and Parsons, 2 great shots in the arm on defense. This defense isn't even all the way healthy. They still missing.
Yeah, the defense is definitely better.
Yeah, they're not even healthy all the way, but I feel like they definitely one of the best teams in the NFC.
Okay.
They can be bounced. The Ravens play tonight. That's why I didn't put them on this list right now because the Ravens are a game behind all these other guys. So it's not really much competition against the Colts. I think we all expect them to thump them. But, depending on what kind of fashion they do it in, the Ravens can definitely leapfrog their way into this top 5.
I agree. That's why I have them at the bottom too. Like, because they were in my top 5 last week. And to me, like, that's the only thing that's keeping them out is the fact that they played Monday night. And I think it's going to be tough for them to leapfrog to this week because they're playing the Colts. So I expect them to win it. It'll really be what happens next week, I think, for the Ravens to get
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop with the Cowboys. It's interesting.
That's just what it is. That's how it is with the Cowboys. I'm trying to be objective this year. They playing the sorry G strings.
That's good. Perry's pointing out he didn't have any question about Herbert. Just saying.
No, it just came out of nowhere. How'd those Broncos do this week? All right. We got enough.
Let's pick them.
Let's pick them. All right.
Oh, boy. He said, good job, Cowboys, for beating the MASH unit. Defense is playing way better than last year. Ain't saying much. Okay. Yeah, their defense was porous last year at best.
Schedule week 5. We are now in week 6. So I'll move that over to week 6.
Kickoff of Monday Night Football is underway.
All right, so let's start with this game. Who you got? Colts, Ravens.
Ravens 32-10. 35-10. Something sick.
Yeah. All right, Miami at Jacksonville. Ugh.
Miami.
In London. Poor
Oh
London.
God, Miami still.
Poor London.
Yeah, poor London. They sent the Falcons and the Jets over there this past week, and now you sending Jacksonville. God,
Poor London. Yeah, I'll take Miami. Green Bay at Chicago.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Cincinnati at Detroit.
Cincinnati.
I think Joe Burrow is cleared, so I think he'll play. If you got Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase, go ahead and play.
Jamar Chase.
Houston at Indianapolis.
I've been enjoying that Jamar Chase situation.
$1, right? $1.
Right. Indianapolis.
Ooh.
Houston's bad.
Houston's bad, but they put up a fight for half this week. I'll take Indianapolis. Rams at Giants.
Ooh, Rams.
Kansas City at Washington.
Kansas City. Get back at him game.
Yeah, they got to get back on. Like Tyler Heineke can't take you out. Vikings at Carolina. This is low key a NFC positioning game.
Yeah, I like the Vikings though because there's a lot of love for Carolina, but McCaffrey down, that team's totally different.
Listen, DJ Moore's been destroying people in Carolina. And Minnesota's defense ain't really stopping nobody. I'm gonna take Carolina at home on this one. Chargers at Baltimore, 1:00. That's the best 1:00 game right there.
Chargers.
Oh
no. Yeah, Chargers. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Yeah,
Herbert shootout.
I'm going Chargers too.
Ooh, Chargers on the road.
Arizona at Cleveland.
That Chargers at Baltimore game, is that afternoon game or night game?
That's 1:00.
Okay. Arizona at Cleveland, unfortunately, I'm scared about this. We got a lot of injured players. I'm going Arizona.
Oh. No, let me look you in the eye. Let me click over. No, Cleveland? This is
No, I'm scared about this game.
Nothing?
I'll be screaming if they win, though.
Okay.
But Arizona, man. Arizona's loaded right now. Cleveland's injured. A lot of injuries yesterday. Even though we can run the ball against anybody, can we stop anybody this week?
Okay. Y'all hear the pitter-patter little feet? That's Kyler Murray scoring another touchdown. I'm going with Arizona. Vegas at Denver.
Vegas.
I'm waiting for Lawrence to put his prediction.
He said, well, he answered your question about, I have no words about the Broncos. My head is down.
Okay, defeat. Okay, I'm sorry for that shot. Then. I'm going to go ahead and pick Vegas, too. Dallas at New England.
I'm going to go with Dallas. I'm not. Is
this a trap game? Is this a trap game?
It could be. Very much so. It feels like a Belichick game.
If you scheme that well against Brady, you can scheme well against Dak. I'm still take Dallas because I got to. And then, and then Seattle at Pittsburgh. No Russell Wilson.
Yeah, this might be a dirty game. Pittsburgh's been so inconsistent, and now Juju's out for 4 months.
I think that helps them because now Claypool can get off. Because as soon as Juju went down, Claypool had a great game.
Got you. Well, I'm going to go Steelers because I don't think that Seattle can recover from losing Russ.
Yeah, me too. I don't. No. Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh. And then is there two? No, one Monday night. The Monday night game is Buffalo at Tennessee, and we can hold that for next Monday.
We will hold that for next week.
Atlanta, New Orleans, New York, and San Francisco all have bye weeks starting at week 6. All right, brother. Any other news and notes you want to knock out?
Hey, man, the Gypsy King takes down Wilder again over the weekend. I'd say would be an epic bout. Went 11 rounds. I didn't watch it, just saw the highlights. Kind of had a feeling that was going to happen again. I really was rooting for Wilder that second time around, but I'm not. I can't. I wasn't going to do it a third time.
Looked like he was there just to get paid.
Yeah.
He showed hard though. I ain't gonna play him. He showed hard.
Yeah, they definitely fought a good fight. So that was a good fight. But I've got Claypool in my fantasy as well. I will be using him this weekend.
Don't let me talk you into playing him.
I was actually gonna. He was injured for a second. I had him starting, but he got injured, so I took him off, and I actually picked up my man from Buffalo, Manuel Sanders. But I don't believe in Sanders over Claypool. Perry said the Browns will beat the Cardinals. Dennis is calling Pats over Cowboys. They're on the road, and Steelers winning that game. And Perry said the Fighting Geno Smiths, sir.
No, sir.
And Coleman says Wilder's a great fighter, not a pure boxer.
He's a street fighter. Yeah, it was the greatest of a generation. Heavyweight boxing has always been like. So now, the best in this era is Tyson Fury. All right. Vladimir Klitschko, Waldemir Klitschko, Lennox. It's like, all right, whatever.
Perry said they talked about boxing. Fantastic fight. See?
Yeah, I watched it on Twitter while we was in the hospital, so it was entertaining.
Anthony said Jacksonville might get their first win in London.
I don't know. I think Miami's defense might try.
I'll take Miami over that. But welcome to the show, Anthony.
They said Tua might play too, so I don't know. All right. Anything else on your heart, brother?
Indianapolis is up after a Jonathan Taylor long run early in the first quarter, 7-0 Colts.
That's not good for AJ's fantasy team. He's going to get Jonathan Taylor.
But that's it for me, man. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight, man. Check us out. Academy Sports Show, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or you can follow us on our Instagrams. Right underneath the picture, you see it. Look for our faces on YouTube. Hit that bell. You guys know what it is. You know where it is. Make sure you share the show, man. Let some folks know you listened up on this show on Monday night. Have them come through, join it. Let them know we like to talk a little something, and we'll get into it with you guys. Yeah, great. I'm good, brother.
All right. Just keep Meyer out the bars. There we go. On that, that's a great way to end it. On behalf
just
of
had his hand on the stool, guys. It was just on the stool.
Oh, God. No, it wasn't. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Hey, man, see you guys next week. We appreciate you as always. Enjoy your sports week and weekend. Peace.